KUAM TV 8, your home for Super Bowl 56. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on Primetime, the public auditor reacts to JMI Edison's announcement that it will file an appeal regarding a decision by the OPA. Plus, with the recent Cabras explosion, will the island be seeing rolling power outages? And how many COVID test kits remain on island, and when can we expect the next shipment?
Hafa and good evening, everyone. Guahusi Isaiah Uggan, and thanks for tuning in to your news leader. Questions on confidence, allegations of fraud, and the resignation of one of the CLB's top board members. Public Auditor BJ Cruz gave his comments on his decision of dismissing an appeal that was filed. With tonight's top story, here's KUAM's Tyler Matsanani.
Public Auditor BJ Cruz is looking forward to JMI Edison taking his decision to court. The OPA threw out the company's appeal involving procurement at the airport. It was supposed to be an issue as to whether the competing company had a required contractor's license, but instead turned into something much bigger that ultimately led to the executive director of the contractor's licensing board submitting his resignation.
I'm glad they're going to take it to the Superior Court.
Public Auditor BJ Cruz reacts to JMI Edison's announcement that it will appeal to the Superior Court to intervene in a decision by the OPA to dismiss with prejudice its appeal in an airport RFP to baggage services. The contract was awarded to off-island company Menzies. JMI protested the selection, arguing the company didn't have a license from the contractor's license board. Backing up the company was CLB Executive Director Cecile Orsini, who sent over a findings and fact document to the OPA. That document came into question after documents were produced by Menzies showing an email between JMI and Orsini. JMI's Ed Elau asking a bro to help him out prior to the hearing. But that wasn't the only reason why Cruz dismissed the case. He also cited another instance in which Orsini may have helped another company involved in a separate case before the OPA.
This was the 20th of December. The 23rd of December, I get an almost identical document filed in this case, and I was fuming. I thought, oh, wow, what is this? They look alike, and I said, all right, fine, that's good. At least now I have an issue.
The document was produced by a CLB investigator who also testified in the separate case that in order for a findings and fact document to be issued, by law, it must be approved by a quorum of the board, none of which was done in either cases, according to Cruz.
But then when I get the problem that there isn't a quorum at the board, that their board hasn't met since last September, the director's filing documents purporting to be findings of the board in two cases, it's very hard to believe anything. As I said in my decision, it just makes it difficult to accept anything from the CLB.
Leading the OPA to determine that in the JMI case, it was a bro just helping out another bro.
I guess I was getting too cute in my decision. But it just bothered me that you could reach out to someone like that and ask to have something signed.
As we reported, JMI defended its use of the word bro as just an island way of speaking in open communications, adding that the OPA did not give them an opportunity to defend themselves. Today, it was announced that Department of Public Works Deputy Director Linda Ibanez was appointed as acting executive director of the CLB. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matsanani.
In a press release issued this afternoon, JMI Edison continues to maintain that the public auditor failed to follow due process. The company claims that they requested a hearing on the allegations raised against it, but that public auditor BJ Cruz refused to provide them with a meaningful opportunity to be heard. The company argues that instead, our elected public auditor rendered his judgment based upon his false perception of impropriety and not based on the facts and evidence. He rendered a decision invalidating the actions of another agency that had nothing to do with the procurement or audits process matters, and the result of his choice is allowing an unlicensed billion-dollar off-filing company to profit from Guam's taxpayers and airport customers. The release further claims that contrary to Cruz's statements about the law requiring a quorum in order to issue a findings and decision is in fact false. JMI affirms that they will appeal to the Superior Court. To read the document in its entirety, go to KUAM.com. We are teetering on the edge of possible peak time rolling power outages. GPA says the explosion last week that damaged the Cabras 1 base load generator has put the island-wide power system in a very, quote, precarious situation, end quote. Nestor Lecanto has more.
GM John Beneventi says in no uncertain terms, the unit needs to be returned to service as soon as possible. He says GPA has about 120 megawatts of reserve capacity, and Cabras 1 represented about 50 of those megawatts.
If we lose another base load unit and something else besides that after that, then we're vulnerable during the peak time. The peak time is from 6 in the evening to about 10 at night. So if anything's going to occur, that's the period of time that we're not going to have adequate capacity. No? You know, Murphy's Law, when one machine is down, another one tends to come down, and then the third one and all of that. So that's what we mean about we're vulnerable and in a precarious situation.
He says load shedding is not inevitable, but certainly possible. Meanwhile, the cleanup from the boiler explosion has begun, but because of asbestos in the insulation, it's a careful process. After that, they can determine what happened and begin repairs, although there's no timetable yet for when it'll be completed.
It doesn't seem like there's any specific damage to the boiler tubes or anything like that. So that is kind of encouraging news in itself.
But Beneventi says we shouldn't continue to rely on units like Cabras 1, which is almost 50 years old. If anything, he says, it just shows why getting the new Ukudu power plant online is so important. It was due in October of this year, but because of various delays, including the pandemic, it's not expected to go live until April of 2024.
So it is challenging for us over the next 2 years to keep the island with enough energy. And as long as we don't have any major complications like this, it'll be challenging, but I believe we can make it.
And to those who question building a new fossil fuel-driven power plant?
So here we have an opportunity to have new machines that will drive us over the next 25 to 50 years, if you will, to work well with renewables. So I fail to the life of me understand why that's so complicated. No? So anyway, that's my 2 cents. No? We got to get those power plants, either that or, okay, everybody go get a generator, no?
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Governor Lou Leon Guerrero's recent announcement of an across-the-board pay raise for law enforcement personnel has sparked a renewed call for a government-wide compensation study. Appropriations Chairman Joseph Augustine wrote to the governor to remind her that the current budget law authorizes a study of all GovGuam positions. He said it will provide senators, quote, with the tools necessary to understand the scope and level of the appropriations required to ensure parity across the government, end quote. He said he also looks forward to, quote, providing additional support to our hardworking government personnel, end quote. Well, we got some private sector reaction. Phil Letty is the new executive director of Action PAC, the political action committee backed by every major local business association.
Every 2 to 4 years, but the truth of the matter is a lot of our frontliners or our public sector, the police officers and the medics and whatnot, they are deserving of pay raises. But at the same token, we need to look at it from both sides of the spectrum. If we are going to, as a government, be able to afford the pay raises for these public employees, we also got to think what financial, I don't want to call it burden, but what financial weight are we putting on businesses by also forcing them to increase minimum wages?
St. Augustine's letter also points out that the last government-wide compensation plan, known as the Hay Study, was implemented in 2010 but was suspended the next year due to fiscal constraints. As the battle continues against the Omicron surge, the island's supply of test kits continues to drop as the Department of Public Health and Social Services still await the shipment of new kits. KUAM's Daniel Perez reports.
The last time I checked, we were around the 10,000 level.
Public Health PIO Janela Carrera clarifying the amount of test kits currently on island. If Public Health is still averaging about 2,000 tests per day, that leaves only 5 more days of testing island-wide. With the uncertainty of when more test kits will arrive, residents like Jay from Dedido decided to take matters into his own hands.
See, our household, we just bought our own test kits. So we ordered our own test kits so we don't run into this problem. I think it should be ordered like in a emergency process where you kind of, have to order it up beforehand and stuff. Maybe that's the, but if there's a shortage, then wow, I welcome everybody else to just order their own kits, I mean, if I have a sick kid and I have to wait in line in Teedzin in the back of 1,000, I mean, look at this line, that line, I mean, it's going to be an issue. So we just ordered our own kits.
As to when more test kits will arrive, it's still up in the air due to procurement issues.
We were still working on the procurement, and it was just a matter of working with some of the vendors currently on island and trying to see if they're able to work on bringing in some of those test kits. So I have to follow up on that and see where we're at on that. That was late last week. So I'm not sure if any of those issues were resolved, but hopefully soon we'll be able to get those test kits here, whether they're already here or we're still trying to work on getting them here.
In the event that Public Health does run out of test kits, Carrera said there isn't much they can do but wait for the new shipment to continue testing. Public Health continues to test residents who are experiencing COVID-19 symptoms and high-risk close contacts, such as those 65 years of age or older, unvaccinated or partially vaccinated with an underlying health condition. Testing is still appointment-based right here at the Teedzan testing site. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Daniel Perez.
Daniel Perez, thank you for that report. 81-year-old Froilyn Rosales Poma was crossing Alligator Street and was struck by a vehicle who fled the scene on Saturday morning. He was transported to Guam Regional Medical City and was later declared deceased. This is an ongoing investigation, and the Guam Police Department is asking anyone who may have been near Alligator Street near the intersection of Route 16 overpass around 6 and 7 a.m. on Saturday and witnessed something, contact GPD at 671-485-8615-7. A man found bloody and unconscious in a parking lot was sent to the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority on Sunday afternoon, an altercation with 28-year-old Roman Aaron Duenas Alvarez. According to court documents, witnesses saw a fight between the victim and Alvarez earlier that evening inside of the Komodo Lounge. Later in the Blue Lagoon Plaza parking lot, a witness allegedly saw Alvarez was driving his car into the victim before leaving the scene. Alvarez also allegedly resisted arrest and was tased by a GPD officer. He was charged with aggravated assault, possession, and use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony and resisting arrest. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. Coming up, Coke North 2022 gets underway. Stay tuned, you're watching KUAM.
If COVID-19 has affected your ability to stay on top of your mortgage or utilities, you may be eligible for the Department of Administration's Guam Homeowner Assistance Fund.
This youth program can provide up to $15,000 to eligible homeowners to meet their mortgage obligations. While you keep your household safe, we want to help keep it stable and provide support for those who qualify.
Pre-applications will be available starting January 31st. For more information, visit doa.guam.gov or call 671-638-3814.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around.
life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
When the pandemic first started and we had no idea that it was going to affect our business till March of 2020. Orders from public health, roadblocks, restriction. It was a very hard time for me. What really has saved my business is the SBA and the PPP program. I felt keeping the employees was so important because I had faith that my government would help me later, the federal government. We applied and we received 2 PPP loans equaling up to $425,000. That money saved me because it's been 2 years. I think 80 or 90% of the restaurants have closed. The only reason I'm here because of my devoted clientele and the federal government.
Thank you for helping save jobs with federal funds.
Thank you to the federal government for all the federal ARP money.
Thank you for the federal funds.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town, on Guam or the CNMI, and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094.
Welcome back to your news leader. In regional news, the CNMI House of Representatives has transmitted over 5,700 pages of documents as evidence for the impeachment trial of Governor Ralph Torres. In a letter to Senate President Jude Hochfinder, Representative Selena Babalta, and House Speaker Edmund Villagomez write that the documents are a product of the months-long investigation by the Judiciary of Governmental Operations Committee. They include documents from government agencies and responses to some of the committee's subpoenas related to travel, boating trips, utility bills, and reimbursements. However, the lawmakers request that all the documents remain private until the Senate trial takes place to avoid senators reading the information before then. Babalta and Villagomez say that they have 6 representatives and 2 alternates on standby to serve as House impeachment managers. The Senate is expected to release its impeachment trial rule in 2 weeks. The Department of Public Health and Social Services released a revised memorandum Friday for all Guam schools' COVID-19 screening testing students. According to DPHSS Public Information Officer Janela Carrera, the updated guidance provides freedom for schools now.
It incorporates a test to stay strategy. And what that does is for students who are unvaccinated and are close contacts to other students who test positive, we have a test to stay strategy where it combines contact tracing, case investigation, and then a testing component as well. So if they are exposed to someone in the school setting and they are unvaccinated, so obviously they'd have to be eligible, right, for vaccinations, so anyone 5 and over, and they're exposed, they can do a weekly testing. And as long as they're continuing to stay negative or test negative, then they can stay in school as opposed to staying home during that 10-day quarantine period. In the previous guidance, it was required for schools to test 10% of their population. So this screening guidance, what it says is we continue to require 10% of their population, but this time we're asking it's for them to test 10% of the consenting school population.
COVID screening testing students was a requirement set by the governor in October of last year as an added layer of protection against the deadly virus. Most Guam Catholic schools resumed in-person instruction this morning. Here's more on Dominican Catholic School in Jigo.
After switching to remote learning for 2 weeks due to the rise of COVID-19 cases on the island, almost all Guam Catholic schools transitioned back to face-to-face learning this morning, one of them being Dominican Catholic School in Jigo. Sister Esperanza Zaguban, the principal, says it was a seamless transition from in-person instruction to online learning 2 weeks ago.
It's easy for the school to do that because we have been to this situation even before. So with the teachers, they have been used to shifting to online and then face-to-face to online because they became flexible to the situation.
Sister Zaguban says the Catholic school only offers face-to-face learning to all 132 students.
We give also option, like if the students are sick with COVID, we also allow them to go online.
Most employees and students are vaccinated. There is no COVID vaccine requirement currently. Unvaccinated employees must submit to weekly testing, which must be a negative result. Zaguban shared with KUAM News their COVID safety measures, which include the 3 W's.
Washing of hands, watch distance, and what is the other one? Wearing the mask. We have the plexiglass on tables of each student, and we provide them with sanitizer, face masks, and also we receive grants from the federal, so every month they do disinfection.
As an added layer of protection against the virus, Governor Leon Guerrero required all Guam schools to screen test students for COVID, which went into effect in October of last year. The Archdiocese of Agana's Office of Catholic Education has reported 87 COVID cases among the system's 13 schools, students, and employees since January 3rd as of January 19th. Zaguban anticipates starting to administer the COVID test to students soon.
We don't yet, but we plan to test our students. We are just waiting for the test kits from DPH.
Faculty members are trained and will swab students for COVID once Dominican implements such policy.
Coming up, Dave Delgado with sports. You're watching KUAM.
Buenas Sanhafadi. Part of taking care of yourself is participating in cancer screening. Make it a point to see your doctor at least once a year for an annual visit to discuss your risk and to determine which tests are right for you. Many tests are free or covered by insurance, and there may be programs to help those who don't have insurance. Cancer screening can save your life. There are screening tests that can catch cancer early when it may be easier to treat. So learn more at cancer.org/getscreened.
Beautiful. It is, right, baby?
Dad, isn't that where we usually stop for gas?
It's where we used to stop, but not anymore.
But isn't that the place with the milkshakes?
Okay, all right, let's go.
Good job, kids.
Take your adventure further in the first ever Santa Fe Hybrid.
New Spicy Lovers Pizza from Pizza Hut. Hurts so good. With its spicy marinara and sliced red chilies. It's like a roundhouse kick to the taste buds. How's it looking? Don't be bashful with the fiery flakes now. I want it to be real spicy.
I haven't started yet.
Okay, I'm ready. The new Spicy Lovers Pizza. Get it while it's hot. You want respect? Red chilies get you respect. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Ukadu High School is now 1-1 in the EASA League. The Bulldogs defeated Southern High 3-2 at the JFK Field. Brian Ignacio with Ukadu's first goal. The Bulldogs ended the first half tied at 2. Isaiah Charfris chases down the long pass, taking it off one bounce. Charfris with the footwork to get by 2 defenders. Isaiah takes the contact and keeps dribbling towards the goal. Light finish with the right foot. Southern's Cody Pangilinan and Trevin Rioja scored for the Dolphins. Zaven Piolo scored the last goal in the second half for Ukadu. The Bulldogs hit the field Wednesday to face GW at home. Kickoff set for 6:30. JFK sits in first in the standings. Ukadu second. Southern High is in third place. Purebred BJJ Guam black belt and professional female fighter Brogan Walker, who sports a 7-2 record, has been selected to participate in the Ultimate Fighter 30 Peña vs. Nunes, a show that will feature a cast of 16 athletes in the men's heavyweight and women's flyweight divisions for a chance to pursue their UFC dreams. The Ultimate Fighter 30 is set to air May 3rd on ESPN Plus and UFC Fight Pass. Brogan Walker's mixed martial arts career began in October of 2014, where she fought in the locally coordinated Pacific Extreme Combat events. Her record was 4-0 in the PXC, and in July of 2018, she went on to fight in Invicta FC, an international all-women's fighting organization. She last competed in Invicta FC 44, where she won by submission via rear naked choke in the first round. Congratulations to Brogan. We look forward to seeing you on the show.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Building on the past, we at Docomo Pacific Business believe in helping businesses move forward and together, changing the way we get things done to make you and your company reach your highest potential. Trust in our commitment to bring you the best solutions for all your business goals. We are Docomo Pacific Business. Let's work better together.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, where you get smart insights into your finances so you can make smart decisions with your money. With a daily personalized feed, you can compare your monthly income to spending. That's better. Discover where your money is actually going. You might be surprised. See what's essential and what isn't. The more you use the app, the smarter it gets. With insights from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
Hi. You look really nice.
You look so cute.
Welcome back. And tonight we feature Cabras as one of the many businesses on island that is Guam Safe certified by the Guam Visitors Bureau and carries the WTTC Safe Travel stamp.
Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase is brought to you in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau.
So my name is John Balagat. I'm one of the general managers for Cabras restaurant. One of the reasons why we wanted to be WTTC certified was during the pandemic, there was really a time of unrest, and we wanted to make sure that we give some sort of assurance for local guests as well as travelers, tourists, that Cabras has done our part to make sure that their whole dining experience is, safe and well taken care of. What it means to be certified is a couple of things. We go through a preliminary pre-screening questionnaires that each Cabras has gone through. We answer them in all. And we also, certain guidelines had to be followed, such as posting procedures and guidelines for employees, and making sure the full facility is actually sanitized, clean, and well maintained for the general public. Before the guests even come to the restaurant, the whole place is sanitized, clean. All surface areas are clean with our chemicals, which is our sanitizers. And then before that, each guest has to we check a proof of vaccination if required. We ask them to sanitize, we ask them to temp at the front, and making sure that all guests are accounted for and okay. Then and also with their seating, we make sure they're 6 feet apart, they have barriers when needed, and following the protocols as it sort of revolves. Because as of now, each guideline kind of does change, and as it changes, we do follow in accordance to what is given out by DPHSS. It's been difficult during the pandemic, and Cabras has been trying our very best to make sure the general public is taken care of. I hope you guys stay safe. God bless. Yeah.
Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase is brought to you in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of the birthday shoutouts from the Coat Zone Creamery Birthday Club.
Haley Sanchez Corpus, happy birthday to you on this February 7th, and we hope you have a wonderful, safe, and special happy birthday. Your shout out is coming from Daddy and the whole family, who say, "We love you so much, my girl," and they're sending you hugs and kisses. And Kamea Janae, happy birthday number 11, the big 1-1. Nice. We love you and send many birthday blessings to you on your special day. Love, Nina Connie, Uncle Sean, and the family. So we have two amazing members of our island community that we appreciate, we celebrate, and that we generally want to wish a happy birthday. So Haley and Kamea, today's your day, and we hope you both have excellent birthdays.
That's going to do it for us here on Primetime this Monday evening. Guahusi Isaiah Ugin, and thank you for watching. Good night, Marianas.